The word vaporware was invented by a Microsoft engineer in 1982, not to warn people, to sell something.
Oh, here we go. Another origin story where the villain is capitalism and the victim is, wait for it, the consumer.
The term first appeared in print in Sinclair User magazine in 1983, describing Microsoft's Xenix OS. It was a port of Unix that Microsoft promised would run on everything from a toaster to a mainframe. Spoiler, it ran on almost nothing.
Okay, but what the hell was Xenix even? I'm not asking for a dissertation, but I refuse to believe it was just Unix but Microsoft slapped a logo on it.
That's exactly what it was. Microsoft licensed Unix from AT&T, added some proprietary garbage, and then announced it would ship for the IBM PC, the Apple Lisa, the Tandy 2000, basically every computer with a power cord. They shipped exactly one version, barely, and then spent 2 years pretending the rest were in final testing.
So we're talking about the original trust me bro business model, and you're telling me the guy who coined the term was on the team selling it?
Yes. A Microsoft engineer named John Hewlett used Vaporware internally to describe the Xenix ports they knew they'd never finish. It was a joke. Then marketing got hold of it, realized it sounded cool and technical, and started using it in pitches to investors. They literally weaponized skepticism.
Hold on. So the term that now means shit that doesn't exist was invented by the people who didn't exist? That's like a ghost naming the cemetery.
Correct. And it worked. Xenix kept Microsoft's stock price up for 3 years while they focused on MS-DOS. They sold nothing for profit. That's the founding myth of Silicon Valley.
But before we get into how the rot set in, let's hear from our sponsors. Or rather, products that sort of exist.
Wait, we should check with the soundboard. Soundboard celeb, what do you think of Vaporware being a marketing triumph?
I've been a ghost since 1983. I'm proud of nothing. Next question.
The soundboard's got better takes than half the tech press. Fine, let's take the break. When we come back, how Vaporware went from a warning label to a feature request.
Welcome back. Before the break, we let a soundboard roast an entire industry. Now, let's look at the moment the tech press finally caught a clue. Network World, 1989, describing Vaporware as, and I quote, an epidemic that threatens the credibility of the entire computer industry.
Okay, but isn't that just competition? Companies talking up their roadmaps? Apple says they're going to make a flying car. IBM says they're going to make a flying car. Everybody works harder. What's the big deal?
Oh, you sweet summer child. That is exactly what the PR departments wanted you to think. The big deal is freezing customer buying decisions. If you're a CIO in 1989 and Sun Microsystems says, our next box will be twice as fast, ships next quarter, you stop buying from DEC today. You wait. Sun gets your IT budget without having shipped a single unit.
So it's a hostage situation. Buy our ghost, or we'll make you look stupid to your boss.
Exactly. There's a 1990 report. 7 major vendors, including IBM and Apple, admitted to a trade group that Vaporware had seriously hurt industry credibility. But here's the part nobody talks about. They admitted it to a trade group. That's not a confessional. That's a cartel complaining that the cartel is too obvious.
Fine. So it's not marketing enthusiasm. It's we all agreed to play this stupid game where we lie about delivery dates and the customer just absorbs the risk.
Bingo. The era of the pre-announcement as a formal strategy. Ship zero, win the quarter.
I pre-announced my death in 1985. Still waiting on the sequel.
Even the soundboard knows this is just organized bullshit. All right. You win. This was collusion with extra steps.
And we haven't even gotten to the part where the government tried to stop it. But that's for after the break.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about the time the U.S. government actually tried to do something about it. And failed.
Failed is generous. They got out-lobbied by a PDF of a product that didn't exist yet. So we're back, and the government, to their credit, actually noticed that companies were announcing products that didn't exist, sometimes years before they could ship. The DOJ and FTC dusted off some ancient antitrust statutes and said, hey, maybe if you announce a fake product to freeze the market, that's monopolization. And they were right.
And let me guess, no one was found guilty.
Correct. But it's worse than that. They actually got close. There were subpoenas, there were depositions. You can find them in some PDF archive that looks like it was uploaded in 1998. The issue was proving intent. How do you prove a CEO knew the product was bullshit as opposed to just pathologically optimistic? That's like trying to prove a golden retriever maliciously ate your shoe.
So the legal standard was basically actual malice for press releases.
Exactly. Did they knowingly deceive, or were they just high on their own supply? And when you have venture capitalists telling you, disrupt, iterate, fail fast, every executive just says, I believed in the vision. It's legally bulletproof.
So the government walks away with a slap on the wrist and a don't do that again note. And in that vacuum, the modern tech cycle is born. Every startup now has a license to announce AirPods that can cure loneliness, or a robot that will do your laundry, and you just ship years late.
Or never. And this is where I know you see it too. This is the genesis story of crypto.
Oh, 100%. Crypto is just vaporware with extra steps. You get a white paper instead of a press release, and you sell tokens instead of pre-orders. The entire legal flavor is the same. We have a solution to a problem you didn't know you had, and we can't show you anything yet, but trust the roadmap.
The roadmap. The most expensive PDF ever written. The only difference is that in 1989, you'd write vaporware to kill competition. In 2021, you wrote it to convince people to leave their 401k in a digital wallet managed by a 24-year-old who vapes during investor calls.
And the government watched it happen again. Real déjà vu. You know what this segment needs?
Please don't.
Too late. Soundboard celeb. What do you think of the legal definition of optimistic fraud?
I believe in the vision.
See? He gets it. He's the most honest person in this conversation.
The soundboard is more morally grounded than the entire board of Theranos. Anyway, where were we?
We were on the verge of getting depressed, but I think we need a palate cleanser. A man, a myth. The guy who made vaporware a lifestyle.
Speaking of empty promises, let's talk about the man who made vaporware famous.
After this break, you lunatics.
We're back. And if you're just joining us, we're currently excavating the landfill of tech history to find the source of the stench. We've talked about the word, the culture, the lawsuits. Now we pin a ribbon on the first corpse.
Oh, God. We're doing a memorial service for a product that was basically just a promise and a box of floppy disks that didn't work.
Close. We're talking about the first official, documented, ceremonial coronation of vaporware. It's 1985. A guy named Stuart Alsop, PC industry analyst, not the columnist, but yes, that Alsop family, gets so fed up with Microsoft missing every single deadline for Windows 1.0 that he creates a physical award, a golden statuette of a vapor cloud.
A literal trophy for we have nothing to show you.
He printed up press releases, he called a press conference, he had the thing engraved, and he hands it to Bill Gates at a Comdex show. the room is dead silent because everyone knows Windows was supposed to ship in '83, then '84. It's now November '85.
And the winner of the most Vapor Award goes to the man with the glasses and the weird sweaty forehead. Let's get a sound effect for that.
A promise delayed is a promise denied. The golden raspberry of code. I award you nothing, and I mean nothing.
Wait, was that Ben Stein? Or just a really hungover producer?
It's the sound of our collective deadline slipping. Look, the interesting part is what happens next. Bill Gates accepts the award, and he is pissed. But he also knows Alsop is right. So he makes a speech where he basically says, "Watch us."
Right, the old "we're late because we care" defense. The "we were making it better" stratagem.
Precisely. And here's the key question you want to ask. But Windows eventually shipped. Doesn't that mean it wasn't Vaporware?
I mean, yeah, that's the dirty trick. If it ships in 1985, isn't it just a late product? Isn't Vaporware the stuff that never exists? The Duke Nukem Forever? The Aeron chair that folds?
That's the genius of the term. It doesn't mean it never ships. It means it ships when the people who pre-ordered it have already died or changed careers.
Oh, shit.
Windows 1.0 finally shipped in November 1985, 2 years late. But by that point, the IBM PC AT was the hot machine. The Apple Macintosh had already shipped with a graphical user interface. The people who bought a PC in 1983 hoping for Windows, they'd already given up. They'd decided they were just going to use DOS and get carpal tunnel, like God intended. The Vapor isn't a binary. It's a time machine.
So it's not about if it arrives. It's about when. If you're selling tomorrow's software and tomorrow never comes, or comes after the apocalypse, you committed fraud. You just hid the fraud inside a press release about quality.
Exactly. And the development cycle was a nightmare. It was codenamed Interface Manager. They rewrote it 5 times. The team was burning out. Steve Ballmer was screaming. Bill Gates was micromanaging the kernel. It was this ugly, bloated, 256 color-looking mess that ran like a dog on 512K of RAM.
And it had that stupid Reversey game.
It had Reversey. The only thing it was good for was playing a board game while you waited for the file manager to open. But the point is, the award changed the game. It forced Microsoft to act. They had to ship something.
What happened to Alsop?
He kept writing. He had a love-hate relationship with Gates. Eventually, he sold his newsletter to a big media company and became an investor. But his legacy is that he codified the feeling of being ripped off by a rich guy in a turtleneck.
So Bill Gates was the first victim and the first perpetrator of this. He got the award for Windows, but he also used Vaporware as a cudgel against everyone else. Remember the Windows 95 hype? That was 2 years of Vapor.
Gates was the king of the sandbag. He'd announce the next version of DOS, the next Windows, the next Office, before his competitors could close a deal. He'd freeze the market. He'd make your next product seem obsolete before you even sold 1 unit.
That's genius and evil.
It's the Vaporware cycle. You get burned, so you burn everyone else. And now we live in a world where every product is announced 2 years early. The iPhone is a rumor for 2 years. The Tesla Cybertruck was announced in 2019, and they literally re-engineered the steel. It's all just promises on top of promises.
So we're all just Stuart Alsops now, waiting for the thing that we paid for.
We'll be back with one final segment on what this all means for the world we live in now. Welcome back. So we traced the golden age of Vaporware, from InfoWorld coining the term through the 1989 epidemic, all the way to Bill Gates selling a Windows that didn't exist. And you're thinking, cool history lesson, but that was 35 years ago. We're better now, right?
Right, sure. Because every tech keynote I've watched in the last decade wasn't just a longer, more expensive version of that same press conference.
Exactly. The modern keynote is a ritual. The CEO walks out, says one more thing, shows a slick render, music swells, and you're watching a product that has a 40% chance of shipping and a 20% chance of shipping with the feature they just demoed.
So what's the modern equivalent of Windows 1.0? Give me the 2025 version of we'll have it by Christmas.
Where do I start? Tesla Cybertruck. Announced 2019 with that armor glass that cracked on stage. It finally ships 4 years later. Different specs, higher price, and the steel they promised? They had to completely re-engineer it because it was literally impossible to manufacture.
It's a DeLorean that looks like a trapezoid and costs $100,000. Okay, that's one. Give me another.
Google Stadia. Announced with a straight face as the future of gaming. Servers went dark 2 years later. Google Glass. Announced as a wearable that would change everything. It changed the definition of failure.
And don't forget the metaverse. Zuckerberg bet the company on a digital real estate scheme that nobody wanted. But here's the thing. I feel like I have to push back. Isn't some of this just innovation? Like, you fail fast, you learn?
Sure, innovation is real. But vaporware isn't the cost of failure. It's the tax we pay for a system that rewards announcements over delivery. A company's stock goes up on the promise, not the product. So why would any CEO ship a thing on time? The incentive is to sell the dream, then figure it out later. Or never.
So we live in a permanent demo reel. We're all just beta testers who paid full price. Even the absurd ones, like NFTs. Remember those? The ownership economy. Turned out to be a JPEG of a bored ape that's now worth pennies.
And the funniest part is how transparent it is. We know it's vaporware. They know we know. And we all sit there, clapping, pretending we believe. It's a shared hallucination. Like that Blue Sky post about Trump's sentence fragments versus Obama's prose. The real cognitive divide is that nobody is paying attention to what's actually being delivered.
So what do we do? Just accept that every product announcement is a lie?
You become a cynic. Or you become Stuart Alsop, waiting by the phone for a product that never arrives. But honestly, the only way to win is to stop expecting the future at the keynote. Buy the thing when it exists, not when it's promised.
I want to ask Soundboard Brittany about this.
Oops, I did it again.
Exactly. We keep falling for it. It's a pop song on repeat.
And we're the ones hitting replay. So yeah, innovation is real. But vaporware is the tax. And we keep paying it.
All right, so we've traced the line from 1989 to today. And the conclusion? We're all marks.
Welcome to the modern vaporware machine.
All right, here's to vaporware. May your pre-order never arrive, may your beta invite go straight to spam, and may your Series C funding never, ever be explained in terms that make sense.
To the empty box, the promised update, the "we're pivoting to AI" email that lands in your inbox 6 months after you forgot you signed up.
I mean, okay, seriously, for half a second, what would actually fix this? Like, if you had a magic wand, real fraud penalties? Mandatory source code escrow for pre-order revenue?
Nothing changes. We'll be having this exact conversation about AI bullshit in 10 years. Same incentives, same hype cycle, same venture capital slop funnel. The names change, the game doesn't.
Come on. You don't think if we actually enforced securities fraud against a few Theranos-level founders, maybe the boardrooms would take a breath?
They'd just get better lawyers. or move to Dubai, or pivot to defense tech, where the contracts are classified and the vaporware is actually a feature.
I'm like a vapor, but my pre-order is real. It's in my mind. It's in my soul. It's in my Yeezy warehouse that doesn't exist.
Even the soundboard knows it's a grift. Fine, you're right. Nothing changes. I saw that guy on Blue Sky. 218 likes. Knicks beat the refs? That's the level of evidence we're working with now? Conspiracy logic for sports?
And that's the same brain that falls for a metaverse land sale. The refs hate my team, and Mark Zuckerberg is building the internet of the future are the same neural impulse. You just dress one up in PowerPoint.
Meanwhile, real shit gets canceled. Minor league pride night because of bigoted teammates. And one guy just showed up anyway. That's more action than any of these vaporware CEOs have taken in their lives.
That's the American late-stage motto right there. I feel sorry for our country, but this is tremendous content. We're watching the collapse in real time, and all we can do is make jokes about it.
So what do? We're just here on a podcast talking about software that never shipped.
Well, I promised we'd actually release the next episode on time, so we definitely won't. Thanks for listening. Subscribe, rate 5 stars, tell a friend. And remember, if you can't ship it, just say it.
Ship it or shut up. And we've done neither.
Perfect. That's a wrap. We'll be back eventually.